Gojira Prime here with a little video, and today I just want to go over some toy news that's come out today on the 9th of June 2025. But first of all, before I do go through the news, as always, I do have a Facebook page, Gojira Prime, where I do share images of the figures in my collection, links to anything I find of interest, and any videos that I do. So if you do have the time, do please find the page, hit like, hit subscribe, and do please feel free to comment on anything that I do post. So today we're just going to go through a few articles on TFW 2005. The first up article of interest that I found, at least for me anyway, is this listing of toys that have come out in other places in the world, Mexico, New Zealand, and Singapore. So here we have links to a few different articles and there's some pictures just to run through. So May ended fast and we are now in the first days of June. The year is going by so quick. So we have some interesting Transformers sightings over the world, new Earthspark and Cyberverse toys in Australia. Cyberverse has been over and done with for a good few years, so how the hell are there new toys coming out for that still? New Studio Series figures in Chile, Legacy, Age of the Primes and Naruto in Mexico, Age of the Primes in New Zealand, and Age of the Prime Deluxes and Sonic X Transformers in Singapore. So we'll just start off with this Earthspark Optimus Prime battle trailer and Mega Sting Bumblebee. So let's have a look here. So we've got some blockies, nothing new really there. Some new Yolpark kits. And we're right here. So this is the Earthspark Optimus Prime set that they're referring to. Now, I'm not a fan of Earthspark myself. It's a TV show and toy line that doesn't interest me. I did give it a try, but it just didn't gel with me. But this particular toy line is I think it's a deluxe class Optimus Prime, and it actually comes with a trailer that folds out into a command station. So very similar to the original G1 version of the toy from way back in the 80s. And then we have an oversized Bumblebee with a Sting attack feature, and it does transform into a car in 14 steps. I thought Cyberverse was done and dusted a very long time ago, but I'm guessing that they had some toys that were still left on the shelves somewhere or that never got released as part of the main line. So it is interesting to see that come through. In regard to Earthspark and its line, I'm not overly familiar with how that's faring. I think I have seen a couple of articles that there are a few more toys that are coming out in regard to the line, and then I think really it's gonna be put to sleep. I don't think Earthspark has been the success that Hasbro were hoping for in the long term, which I suppose is unfortunate at the end of the day. As I said, I gave the series a watch, tried the first few episodes, didn't really gel with me, and so I just left it alone basically. We then have a Studio Series A-level assortment, which consists of the Studio Series Devastation Optimus Prime and a few other bits and pieces. There are some pictures down here, actually, which I'll run through. So what we have here is the Blockies Action Edition G1 Optimus Prime and G1 Megatron. Now, I have to be honest, I am not a fan of Blockies either. It's just not something that's ever grabbed me really, but it does have a very, very big following in the Transformers community. If you've ever watched Transformers the show, they're always on about blockies on there. These two here I have seen in my local game, or at least I've seen the Optimus Prime version anyway, and they're quite sizable. They're quite large kits. I think they're about 35 to 40 pounds in game. If I was going to get into blockies, I think these are probably the two that I would start off with. Not the really small ones, but these bigger ones here, just because they're a bit more sizable. And I have to admit, that Megatron does look really, really nice. Ooh, I may have to add them to the TF Nation want list, possibly for this year. We'll see. Then we've got this Devastation Optimus Prime, which was mentioned before in the blurb. I've seen this in the shops. I've had a handle of it. All I can say is this, people. Avoid this thing at all costs. It is an absolute horrible figure. It really, really is. if I was going to buy an Optimus Prime on the cheap, I think I'd rather buy the Authentics Optimus Prime than this piece of garbage. I really, really would. It's not worth the £25 that you're paying for it. So do yourself a favour and avoid it. Just avoid it. Then we've got here a picture of the Studio Series 1 Bumblebee. Again, it's such a shame for Transformers 1. It was such a good film, and it was basically thrown under the bus by Paramount and Hasbro, really, I think, with the toy line and the marketing campaign. That's why it did so badly at the box office, I think. And now, we're getting Studio Series toys for it coming out, when really we should have had a full-blown kids line with Orion Pax, Alita 1, Bumblebee, Sentinel, Megatron, Starscream, the Seekers, Shockwave, Soundwave. We should have had all of those toys for kids, but instead we've gone down the routes of blockies and a few Studio Series toys. So, although it's nice to be getting some of these characters, I probably won't get them myself. But, there are a lot of Transformers 1's fans, I think, out there who will appreciate these. The classic deluxe Optimus Prime. If you're not familiar with this one, it's basically a cheaper alternative to the missing Link Optimus Prime, but he doesn't come with a trailer. It's actually an alright figure, and as I said in a previous video, they are releasing this as part of a 4-pack, but done in Ultra Magnus colors, if you are looking for one of those. And then we have, obviously, some more Age of the Primes primers, Red Alerts. We've got Air Raid, Waspinator. The Aerial Bots were so hard to get a hold of. They really were. It took me ages to get those two figures. And then we have some Earthspark one-step changes there, if you are into those sorts of things. The Naruto. I wasn't very familiar with Naruto when I first heard about this set, and I actually went and had a look for it, and they're actually showing the whole Naruto series on Netflix at the moment. They're releasing them slowly but surely. I tried to give the series a watch, but it just wasn't for me at the end of the day. Nice big shelf there with some Transformers products on it. And then another picture of the 2 Aerial Bots. Slingshot seemed to be the hardest one to find in the UK for me. We've got Solus, and again another Waspinator. And again, the Sonic the Hedgehog set. I've actually ordered this, but not for me. My daughter has become quite the Sonic fan with the 3 movies, the Sonic Prime TV series. She's tried to play the games, but she didn't really enjoy the games. So she's more into the media side of things, TVs and movies. And she does have a load of Sonic toys that I did get her as well. But I thought she'd enjoy this as well. So I've got this as kind of a surprise for her. I think it's meant to arrive sometime just before TF Nation, so I'm tempted to hold on to it just until we get to TF Nation. And again, then we're back to the blockies. So there is a fair bit coming out overseas. Some of it we're going to be getting here in the UK soon, or we've already had it here in the UK. If you are interested in the Earthspark Optimus Prime Battle trailer set, I do know that they have it on, I think it's Kapow Toys, and it's about £35 to £40 if you are interested in that. So do give them a hit if that's something you are looking for. Another bit of information from the TFW 2005 page is that Skybound, the Transformers UK Compendium Book 1, is coming out for February 2026, and it is now available on Amazon for pre-order. So basically, if you're a big fan of the UK Transformers comics from the 80s and 90s, this is going to be a series that is going to be of interest to you. I do have some of the UK stories which IDW released back in the day, and they are very, very good. In fact, they are some of my favorites. Target 2006 is generally considered one of the best Transformers stories, if not one of the best Transformers story of all time. And if you haven't read it, I strongly recommend that you do. This isn't something I'm looking to pick up myself. But there are going to be a lot of classic comic book fans who are going to want to add this to their collection. And obviously, I think Skybound are releasing the entirety of the G1 comic book series as well in some new hardback editions too. I think it was a crowdfunding, if I'm not mistaken, but I could be wrong there because I wasn't really interested in it very much. I didn't really pay too much attention to it. And then finally, for the news for the day, if you are a frequenter of TF Nation, you will know that they are holding their second Reading event this year. It's going to take place on the 22nd of November 2025. TF Nation has really, really grown in the last few years. They have the big main event in the first or second week of August every year, which is a 3-day event, and then 2 smaller single-day events, one in Manchester and now one in Reading going forward, which I think is great news at the end of the day for people. If you can't make it to the big event, then make it to one of the small events down south or up north. And Manchester's only an hour away from where I live, which is really, really good. So if you are looking to go to a TF Nation event and you live down south, but you can't make it to the main event for, I don't know, timing reasons, money reasons, give the Reading event a shot. If it's anything like the Manchester event and you're a Transformers fan, you probably will really, really enjoy it. So that's all of the news for today in regard to Transformers. I do hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, please hit the like, hit subscribe, and do feel free to comment on anything that I do post. Thank you very much and enjoy the rest of your day.